Hello friends and welcome to my channel. My name is Jess and I'm so glad that you guys are joining me because we are here to do a stats page for September. So this video is part of a collab that I do every month with Plan with Em. Definitely check her out. I'll have her linked in my description. For my new viewers, welcome. My returning viewers, welcome back. Today we are going to be talking books and talking about the books that I read for September in my reading bullet journal. If you want to join me, grab your stuff and let's get started. First of all, I have not sketched anything out, so we are going in completely blind. Like, I may be flipping back and forth several times just to kind of make sure, like, for how I want to do it. But basically, we're going to set it up similar to how I did July and August. I'm going to be doing the stats with the books read, the pages read, and I'm also going to do hours listened, because when I was tracking Storygraph, and by tracking Storygraph, I mean when I was updating Storygraph for the month while cooking dinner, I did go ahead and actually notate which books were audio, which books were like regular books. I don't really differentiate between like the Kindle and the physical book. But I definitely am trying to make sure that I keep the audio separate. And I think I got them all. Yeah, I think I got them all. But basically, I guess I have to choose the right month. Basically, I read 15 books, 2,463 pages, 75.2 hours of audio. And I will say for the format, like the majority of them were audio and then the rest of them were print. I think when I was updating my reading journal, which I have not finished updating yet, and I have not recorded it yet. And this is kind of where I'm like, I really hope that I chose everything appropriately in Storygraph. But we were sitting at so I missed some because I have 3 physical, 2 Kindle, 10 audio for 15 total. So that's not, I don't think that's quite right. Whatever, we are going with it. In October, I will do a lot better. So for what I'm going to be doing, I have a Tombow. This is one of the blacks. I have a Archer and Olive fine liner black. I have this little doodaddy for making my circle. We're going to be using this gray for like my backing. I have this shelf for my books, and I do have to actually add 2 books to this. And then I have all of these, because all of these are going to be going into my other reading journal, with the exception of these 2, which were my top favorite books of the month. And is that it? Oh, then I have markers and highlighters, so in that way I can be able to fill in the colors. So let's go ahead and start. I hope I don't mess this up. We are going to start by putting in my circle. I'm actually going to be using the fine tip of the Tombow because I really like this black. So 15 books. I feel like that may have been one of my lowest months so far. Oh, and we're also going to kind of look at the genres. Apparently I had 13 romance. Let's go with the thriller. I had 1 thriller. So what's the other one? Oh, and then a fantasy. Okay, so those were scissors. We're okay. So 13 romance. Oh my goodness. You guys, this pie chart is too difficult. Why do I do this to myself? Why don't I read like other genres? So if I have 2, we're gonna go 1, 2, and that's romance. Yikes. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna do watercolor this time. I could very well be regretting this decision, but I feel like I say that a lot and then I don't end up regretting it. So we're just gonna go with it. Oh, and I think I have, yes. Okay, we need water though. I probably should have been a little bit more prepared. I'm not going to be using a ton of water, mainly because I'm kind of worried that the Tombow is going to end up kind of bleeding over, but we're going to take this pink because obviously romance has to be pink. And I feel like I do need at least a little bit more water. Oh, see, it is like definitely bleeding into it. So maybe what I do, here we go. Oops, oh, I just messed that up. Oh my goodness, why do I do this to myself? I'm just gonna be very careful when I get over to the edge. So the Archer and Olive dot grid, it's not like true watercolor paper. It is though 160 GSM. True watercolor paper is like around 300 GSM. So it works, but you cannot load it up with water. I may slightly be pushing it. I'm actually kind of really enjoying this. All right, perfect. Now we are gonna do, I wanna do a glitter blue for the fantasy. This one this one might be like a little bit easier just because it's such a smaller surface. So there we go. And then the horror and thriller is going to be, that's a purple. That's not what I want. No, that's a purple too. Like some of these colors, I'm like, you know what? Thriller is going to be a purple. So because of the fact that the fantasy and the thriller are like so small, yes, I'm getting notifications and I'm just gonna let it go. Okay, there we go. My watercoloring is done. Ooh, it's all bleeding over. Okay, that's okay. Now I'm gonna let that dry while I work on everything else. I think I did too much water. Okay, let's go ahead and write down September. I actually really like how that looks, by the way. So I have kind of just learned to like go in freehand with everything. If it looks good, it looks good. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm okay with that. So I feel like I had a good reading month. Oops. I'm gonna have to go to my regular reading journal, but I had like maybe 4 5-star books, and I had maybe, I don't know, I think I only had like maybe 2 or 3 3-star, but we will go back and see. Okay, so this is gonna be books. So that's like the total number of books read. Let's go ahead and put 15. 15 is not a number to scoff at. And then we're gonna do pages. And then I kind of want to do like listen. I'm just going to do one word, and it's just going to be listened. And then I'm going to go back to Storygraph. This is like one reason why I definitely recommend Storygraph, because as long as you are updating it properly, it basically tracks it all for you. So we have 2,463 pages and 75.2 hours. I feel like that is a lot of time spent reading audiobooks. And at the same time, I feel like that there was definitely times during the month where I didn't listen to, like where I went times where I didn't listen to audiobooks. I was actually kind of surprised. And then you see how I have the shelf, and then I have my 5-star. What we're going to do instead, we're going to put the shelf right down here at the bottom, because like I mentioned before, I have to actually add 2 books. So these are shelves that I designed, and I just basically printed them out. But all of the shelves that are on there, they are either 13 or 12 books. I also realized that I had miscounted when I was creating it. It was supposed to have 50, but it actually only had 48. So this was like the non-updated version. I did go ahead and update the final one to, it has 50 books total. Okay, I'm just gonna do like this, and I'm gonna do like a little design on it, because all of the books have to have a design. And then we're gonna do this one. We're gonna go like this. God, this looks so horrible. It is a lot easier to draw these in Procreate. There we go. My 15 books, we're good. Now, in terms of the books, I actually need to grab my reading journal. So I'm going to put my watercolors away. And before I do that, let's go ahead and do my 5-star books. So my 5-star books was Assistant to the Villain, which is a fantasy. I don't read a lot of fantasy, but I will say that this is like the year that I have definitely increased my fantasy reading. And this one is like super cozy, and it's just fun. And it has like number 2 is coming out in 2024, and number 3 is coming out in 2025, and I absolutely cannot wait. And then Mrs. Nash's Ashes is about somebody who, she has the ashes of Mrs. Nash because she wants to bring it to Mrs. Nash's friend before she passes away, because she's on hospice. And it just kind of tells like her travel, it talks about her travels as she's going on this road trip with, it is a second chance romance, so it's somebody that I want to say she went to school with, if I recall correctly. All right, so Assistant to the Villain. Apparently I have been writing down the title. For the stars, I'm actually going to use this washi from Archer and Olive. This came in the subscription box, the most recent subscription box. It is like so fun, and I have been wanting a reason to use it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm having problems here. So I would like to know, do I have anybody who read the book Fourth Wing? And are you picking up Iron Flame when it releases in November? And to go along with that, have you heard about the newest book that is slated for a Red Tower release the same day as Iron Flame, that is said to be comparable to Fourth Wing? It's basically an untitled release with an unknown author. And people are going crazy for it, pre-ordering it, because they keep hearing rumors where it's like, you don't want to miss this one. And it's kind of crazy, like all of this hype surrounding a book that literally nobody knows what book it is. Okay, so Mrs. Nash's Ashes. I love this washi, and I will forever be using this washi from now on, at least until this roll is gone. And then I'm gonna have to beg Archer and Olive to be like, please release more rolls of that washi, because that's fantastic. You know what I kind of want to do? I kind of want to use my watercolors on these, but I'm not going to. All right, next I'm going to go to this reading journal, because this is where I have all of my ratings. And we're just going to go through the list. I will say that also I could use Storygraph too, but apparently that's too much work. My brain just stopped. Yes, these colors. I don't need this one, and I don't need this one. So it's basically 5, 4, and 3. So one thing that one thing I noticed for this month, I feel like I had a lot of 5-star books, but even though I had a lot of 5-star books, it was really tough to pick out my favorite, or really my top 2 favorite. And I think a lot of it was because, like, in previous months, I've had a book that I've literally wanted to give 10 stars to. So this month, with it just being 5 stars, it's like, well, I really liked them enough to give them 5 stars. But did I like them enough to call them a top favorite? So yeah, that was kind of a tough decision. But I think I like the 2 that I chose. I am thinking next year what I may be doing is I am going to plan on, like, I've seen people do a bracket where they basically choose their favorite book each month, and then you compare the months to kind of pick out, like, which one was your top favorite from each, like, January, February. You pick one, and then your top favorite from between March and April goes up against January, February, that sort of thing. I really hope you guys understand a bracket, because I don't think I'm explaining it right. Just go watch football and basketball. But anyways, I want to do a bracket for next year, because I kind of figured that that would be, like, super, super fun. I literally have 3 more blues in a row. See, I had so many 4 stars. Yeah, so a lot of 4 stars. Only, wait, hold on. 1, 2. So I gotta do 2 more. A lot of 4 stars. 4, 5 stars. Did I just mess it up again? I think I just messed it up again. Oh my gosh. And then 2, 3 stars. So far this month, I gotta leave a review for 2 books. One of them was a 4-star. The other one was a 3-star. And I'm kind of really not surprised about the 3-star. So it's the book Wildfire, which I wasn't really expecting much. I was expecting more than what I got, but I also wasn't. So yeah, that's my 3-star. I know others who absolutely adored the book, and I just didn't. So it's okay, no big deal. And one last one. Okay, so now that this is like basically dry, we are gonna do romance, because I'm quite literally unhinged about the romance. And then this one is fantasy. And this one, I love the watercolor though. I may be doing the watercolor again in the future, is thriller. All right, so there we go. My finished September stats. Definitely check out Emm's video. She kind of goes into like a lot more stats than I do. I keep mine very simplistic. Let me know what you think. And also, if you watch this all the way through, tell me what book you read of September that was your favorite. Thank you guys so much. I really hope you enjoyed this. Thumbs up, subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and enjoy the next video.